stupid people and like motherfuckers who ain't never seen something shiny before, like some dumb shit like that, something that would just make you mad and be like, "Young Miles, shut the fuck up." But which, ironically, several times is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I was banking on young Miles, but my ace in the hole was this thing there, Outchea clone.
Oh my goodness.
Outchea clone showed up at my place of business to tell me this.
I had to pull up the T-Mobile.
You did.
That's how serious it was.
Which is weird. Because we don't even cover T-Mobile in that motherfucker. What? Young
we got no T-Mobile prepaid.
Bruh, listen. when this thing Outchea clone came up to me. Now, when me and Dennis talk all the time, we text when we're just like, me and the other fellas do. But when Outchea clone show up with me, Dennis got a look that lets you know he's been thinking something. When Dennis talks to you, right, he always makes eye contact. When Dennis kind of stand off to the side of you and face the same direction that you facing and kind of talk to you like this, it's because he's finding the best way to deliver the bomb. And I knew it, bro. He was like, I gotta holler at you about something. I was just like, you don't want to do bi-weekly. And he was just like, okay, I'm saying. And I was just like, I knew it.
Yo, nah, long story short, I didn't want to do that shit. Like,
and I feel you. I knew it because when we made the plan, we disregarded the reason that 1, 2, and 3 actually do this podcast. We do it because it's an outlet for us to say whatever we want, devoid of anybody stopping us from saying it, and it's therapeutic for us. And so that's why, whether we had 10 listeners or 10,000 listeners, we would continue to do it. And so to cut that therapy in half, it's kind of detrimental.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically, my point is the whole thing with this podcast and trying to do it bi-weekly it's just not. I don't feel like it's an us thing because of how consistent we've been have we been for a year. We a year plus in. Why would we take our foot off their necks now?
Okay.
Like, granted, okay, maybe if we like started this maybe the first episode or something like that, and we was like, okay,
within the first 20 episodes.
Yeah, but
I feel you. We damn near. Oh shit! Is this episode 60?
59.
Damn.
But we close.
Damn, bro. We
done live from Saturday
holy
night.
Shit, bro. We almost at our Social Security episode, bro.
Legit.
Damn. Yeah.
You watch Saturday Night Live like that?
No, I don't.
Well, back in the day, we did. Back when it was funny.
Yeah.
It has some. Listen, I've been scrolling through the hosts. You gotta find a good host. You gotta listen. You gotta pick and flip through.
It has its moments. I'll say that. It has its
had
moments.
Adam Sandler on there. I ain't gonna lie. Adam Sandler low key to go to Saturday Night Live. Like,
shout out Adam.
Yeah. I mean, he used to be on there, so.
Yeah, he ain't gonna lie. His was actually funny. Idris Elba's was.
Leslie kind of funny too.
Yeah, she is. Michael Che and Keenan is like they top 2 hits.
Yeah, for sure.
When Michael Che do the news one.
Well, which McCall used to be on there?
Chris Rock.
Well, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, all of them, but what's her face? Tina Fey? Tina Fey funny as fuck. People be sleep on Tina Fey. And she from the crib. Shout out. But, what was I saying? So, I feel like what we're getting to is we're going back to weekly.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Okay. All right.
I ain't like that shit from the beginning. Like, as soon as, I thought about it, I was like, okay, maybe we can do this bi-weekly thing. So, I'm driving. All right, so this was the timeline of events. I left here. I was like, okay, we're going to do bi-weekly. All right, cool. Maybe the night before work I can get sleep. I drive home. Okay, bi-weekly, whatever. I wake up the next morning. I'm like, bi-weekly.
Next morning,
I want you to know Wade was like, all right.
Next so it wasn't even 24 hours.
It gradually got like
by hour 12. You was like,
bruh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you how much I knew we weren't gonna go to stick to bi-weekly. I didn't even tell her. Normally, if we make a change like that, I'd be like, hey, baby, we only doing this thing twice a month. She'd have been like, oh, okay, I only got to see I have all these things in my house twice a month. Nice. No. That's why I was just like, no, I'm not even going to get her. Not even going to get her hopes up.
And let me just like round of applause to Alice for just like just letting us
Real MVP, man.
get our shit off over here like for real.
Because we be down there some niggas.
But nah, long story short, that day I came to see you, I was in fuck nah mode.
I did tell, bro. Want me to tell you how I know, bro? You and I have talked before about things you passionate about. You don't often speak about things like this. You done gave me like 2 F-bombs in like the last hour, bro. Which is...
It's rare.
Yeah,
because we always rated R.
But yeah, nah, this...
Me and you just be going the fuck off.
You already know how I feel. Fucking get money.
But yeah, it's just like with Q, it's AOD season, it's FON season, foot on next season, so...
I like that.
Fuck it.
I like that.
Episode 59.
Goddamn. Episode 59, and evidently we going fucking stupid with acronyms again.
Bro, that's what it is, bro. Nigga, it's 29. It's
Hold
summer
on.
2019.
Next season.
Nigga, y'all already know what it is. AOD, we got ass on dick.
Fonts.
RIL, Raw's Law, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? FDT, fuck Donald Trump. It's all good, baby. Summer 2019, no static. With all the static.
Yeah.
Extra static.
Well-
extra static.
Well-
Juice pack static, nigga.
Okay, well, you know what? Fuck it. Fine, everybody. Since evidently you done heard all the shit we just went through prior now. Episode 59, Outchea Clone, do your thing.
Your episode 59, No Static Podcast. I am your host, the Outchea Clone. But you probably knew that like 10 minutes ago. Joined by Coop is here, LQ is here, Alex is in the background. We also got another. Well, I don't know
Got our
if you want
special
to do
guest,
your
bro. Yeah,
your
you
introduction.
do you want to say?
or not.
Do you want to be Michael Buffer then, or do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
You can do it.
Okay. Do you
All right, bet. Vince is here from episode. What was that episode you was in? That was like it was 30 something.
Somewhere in our 30s, you know, we was fresh out of our college. We lit as fuck episodes in our being grown and responsible, but still trying to be out there and a thought episodes.
Yeah. Vince was nice enough to let us use his crib for one of the episodes.
He surely did.
And that was very awesome. Of you.
Oh shit! Was this why I was like while I was on hiatus?
Nah, this was like in between the time where, I think you had something else going on.
Okay.
And like the episode that we did, it was the week we had that episode with all the calamity.
Okay.
And nothing ended up dropping. So I was like, hey, Vince.
That's right.
It was a Friday night. I was like, hey, Vince, let's, because we had talked about it already. So I was like,
I remember this. That's right. That's right. And for all y'all that wonder what happened during my hiatus, I know you might hear things or see proof of other things, but fuck y'all, I was in jail. All right, I went in there.
Side note. Okay, so we all know how niggas get their nickname. You do something, niggas start calling you that shit, it sticks with you, right?
True.
I have jumped this moment 15 years early with my youngest child. Okay? My youngest child, Marcus. Hey, Marcus, love you. Daddy loves you. Obviously, Marcus will now be referred to as Baby Foxy. I have no idea when this started. I have no idea when him and his other brothers had the meeting and they said, okay, you're now going to be referred to as Baby Foxy. But they say Baby Foxy, he knows it's him, and he answers.
You realize by the time he turned 10, that's going to be Big Fox, right?
Bro, listen, I want him to stick to Baby Foxy so I can drop the mixtape.
Baby Fox.
That shit do look hot on the album cover. Now that I imagine it in my head.
Foxy.
Now, the background to that is I realized where Baby Foxy comes from. We've all heard of Friday Night at Freddy's. That's one of the characters. They're calling him that character. That's fine. I don't care. The sad part about it, the thing about it is, he's answering to it. He's riding with it. He's the only one getting called that. So fuck it.
Hey.
If we fuck with it, you fuck with it.
Listen,
That's how you make a nickname work, bro.
Yeah, I know when there ain't no complaints involved. So.
You wait for niggas to ditch you, and then you just own the fuck out of it and make it
I
cool.
know some people get stuck with some nicknames. They trying to get out by that. Nope. Ain't going nowhere.
Bro, I was little, bro. Goofy looking kid. Motherfuckers kept calling me Yogi. So you know what I did, bro? I just owned the fuck out of it. I told girls that was my nickname. I'd be walking down the street, somebody just yell that shit, bro. And that's how it became fucking awesome.
You haven't been Yogi on this podcast though.
Ever, and I never will be because solid gold judo is hard as fuck.
Oh man, so how everybody week, man?
Thugging.
So far, so good, but it's early.
Yeah, man.
It's just Tuesday. Tuesday.
Straight down at any minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with straight.
Yeah, I think we can all agree with straight. Just been straight, no, just.
Shout out to my grandmother, man. She turned 96.
Oh, that's right, Gran. Gran had a birthday.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Oh, word! Round of applause.
Hell yeah, bro. You talking about a gangster?
Bro, I was on the phone with her Saturday. You know, I was asking how the birthday party went and everything. She was like, "It's fine, it's fine. Check this out. So next year for my birthday, I'm turning 93. I want everybody there." I said, "Everybody?" She said, "Everybody." I was like, "Even the people you don't like?" I said, "Everybody." All right, then I guess I'll be there.
Okay. Well, hey, we're gonna do all next year. Also, I'm gonna just let you know now. Don't be surprised if Gran make your plate. I want it the hard way.
Eat what's on the plate.
It wasn't that. It was that. Bro, what happened? You know, I'm a hot from Philly, bro. I'm not eating pork like that and shit. I'm with this weird me. This people, his family cool as fuck. We go to their crib. She OG Sunday, bro. I'm home from church. It's time to cook.
Yeah.
And not kind to cook. So, she start throwing down. I get up in the drink, so I'm going for all the vegetables and all the sides and stuff like that. And stuff like that. I'm going the greens. And she go, like, she's like, something wrong? I'm like, no, I just don't eat pork. And she go, grab the whole plate, put the pork on my plate, and go, there you go. I'll go, oh no, Gran, I was like, I don't really eat pork like that. She go, okay, baby. Just walk off. I look at Q. Q go. He give me the what you want from me. I'm looking around for somebody to be like, hey, he don't bruh. And the sad part about it is, bruh, I hate that shit. I ain't even gonna hold you. I hate that shit, bro. Like I'm on. I hadn't had pork since fucking middle school.
You paid for it.
I just love it, dude.
You paid for it.
I paid for it, but it was delicious. Also, since my own grandmother has passed, Gran is the only woman who sweet potato pie I will eat.
Really?
Yep. And well, excuse me. And now patty pies. I ain't gonna hold you. Gonna hold you. For that shit to be done in mass production, it's just pretty.
Yeah.
It's just pretty yummy. But other than that, bro, if y'all saw her dessert, bro, and it's ice cream and pie, I'm getting ice cream. All right, Grandpa, right, need this pie. Bro, you think about it, he used to have to come back with like 5 pies.
It's stressful.
Bro. Grand the realest, bro. We know, but see, we know several OGs that have lived since we were. Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
This
The
nigga,
only reason I knew it was him because the door opened.
he do everything tall.
Oh man, he's here.
Young
bro.
Yells. Young Myels.
Ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, Jordan McNear made it.
He did.
What you on?
It was that many dishes?
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Who y'all feeding? The Red Army?
No, it's 8-year-old.
Like one 8-year-old?
Yeah.
Because if the 8-year-old got you like that, I need to start bringing you over to my house then.
No.
Oh,
Hey, I don't like y'all looking at me like that.
Get closer to the mic.
I am close to the mic.
You're not.
It's a nigga named Mike right there. He got a beard.
Okay, his name is Vince. I'm LQ. That's cool. That's Cap. That's clearly Alex. She's also a woman.
He's behind me, guys.
If If he's
Well,
behind,
how far in the episode are we?
this is episode 59.
How far into it?
Like
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Sick.
Are
Basketball.
we in the third quarter?
Halftime.
Halftime.
It ain't started yet.
They survived third quarter. Then what's talking about?
All right, so we get into the docket.
Yeah,
All right.
Fuck Polar Pop.
we're not even doing that, bro. You ruined that for us.
Yeah, I came in here with Fiji.
Yeah, bro.
So.
You definitely should feel proud that you ruined that for us.
I did a job. I did it well. I think that's all we could really be looking for. I think I'll sit in the chair today.
Fucking Epic XL.
Ooh. Oh, y'all are moving.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
So, did everybody watch the Game of Thrones finale?
Yep.
Thoughts,
Trash.
opinions,
I'm on
grievances.
season 1. No spoilers.
Trash.
After watching it several times and coming to terms, all things have to end.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
And this is what I told people, because I think when we originally talked about it, I was coming off of my feelings, but now that I've had time to sit with it, digest it, and everything, one, never ever ever expect a good season, a good final season from any HBO show. Period. They will all HBO and final seasons will always disappoint you, whether it's Oz, whether it's The Sopranos, whether it's Boardwalk Empire, The Wire, all great HBO shows. Last season will always disappoint you.
I heard the same thing about Veep, and I didn't even watch Veep.
Yeah, same thing with me. I heard the same thing. So that's the first thing. Second thing is they could have benefited from 2 more episodes, and only 2 more episodes. The only reason I say that is because the one conversation that should have been had that never was had was the conversation between Cersei and Dany. That was the one conversation that needed to be had, and it did not happen. Okay? Two of the most powerful characters throughout this entire show, and we did not see them have one more verbal ideology challenge. That was sad. It honestly was.
And that short nigga dead?
Yeah.
No, wait. Nah.
Okay.
Tyrion.
But as far as like the
You gotta
last
see it.
season, I mean, as far as the last episode in its totality, I love the first half of the show because it was like some superbness writing. Like, I'm gonna tip my hat off to D&D. I really am.
What does DMV stand for?
The first names of the show writers.
Oh.
I'm gonna
I
tip
keep
my hat
saying
off.
that shit. I didn't-
Because everybody has a problem with the way the last 2 seasons have been. When you have to think about, they had to create a show that was based off of a book that's not finished. We don't even know if George R.R. Martin can even finish the story. Because when the last book came out, 1998,
No.
like 92, something like that, like almost 20
I
years
thought
ago.
he was still writing them.
Yeah, he is.
He's still right, but dead ass serious. Does anybody have any faith that he's going to finish those last 7 books?
He's like the fatter, weird version of what's that dude that
Tolkien.
explores the oceans and
Tolkien?
no, not Tolkien, but the guy that explores the oceans and makes blue movies.
Cameron.
Yeah,
The guy that,
James Cameron.
James
Titanic.
Cameron. How did you get James Cameron off of that description?
He knows because he knows culture, and that dude explores the ocean in his off time.
Rick and Morty.
See, he knows.
Which is also coming back in November. Salute to that.
Yes, love.
Yeah.
But yeah, after being able to sit with it, and I've watched that final episode twice now, I like it. Like, I don't like the way the last season was rushed at all. We got back to the game once, and that was episode 4 of this season. But I like it.
Yeah.
Because eventually we just left off where we started.
Outside of Avatar, what's the best show ending?
Avatar the cartoon.
Yeah,
Okay.
Best show ending.
Because I would say Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad has some issues with its, its final season. It was great. Huh?
Yu Hakusho.
That's really specific.
I say Breaking
That
Bad
was written
Avatar
from
the
beginning to
cartoon
end. That's
was
what I meant.
very specific.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. That's
You went cartoon, well, I can't go cartoon.
but it's not. as
Yu
popular.
Hakusho is on Toonami in the discussion.
Avatar was everywhere.
They both had gratifying endings. I feel like.
Avatar still ain't even on Netflix or Hulu.
That is true.
That's how good that shit is. They making money. They don't even need to be on streaming service. We still show that shit at T-Mobile.
Words. I even go so far as to say the Parkers had a gratifying ending.
The Parkers.
Yeah.
Like we can try to figure out like how many shows have had great endings, but like
Not even great, just like satisfying, like truly satisfying.
yeah, but it's like how. When is the next time you're going to have a great show that's appointment TV? Because that was the big thing. Like in a world full of streaming, you had this show that was able to get people to wait X amount of time, and then when it came out, wait however many episodes they had to wait, come out with per week.
There's still a lot of serialized anime though.
Like
And even outside of that, I definitely think it's gonna be a while. Like Power, the final season of that is coming
not
out
every
in
people,
August.
I'm not excited about that.
People
last
lost.
season of Power.
Power lost a lot of people.
That's some good
Yeah.
shows.
Power lost me after season 3. Like I literally only watch it because it's one of those shows me and my wife watch.
How you feel about Power is exactly how I feel about Empire, and that's also on this final season.
Oh, I thought they just flat out canceled.
Nah, they got one more.
They were supposed to. Then
They
they
bring that
they
one
quietly
back.
were like, nah, we'll make a little bit more.
I don't know. I don't think they are.
They ain't bringing him back.
I don't think.
How they gonna kill him off? He was such an integral character. That shit fucks up character development. It's so bad. Cause there's no way, and not to discredit these writers talent wise, but like there's no way you can just like lose a character off like that and be able to use none of his appearances for the rest of the show and still have a meaningful and powerful ending.
Oh, you mean when they just get off of a character like that?
Like when you just completely lose them, like you can't even like
Yeah.
computer generate them and shit because it's a show budget and not a movie budget.
How does, now that you say that, how does Jason Mitchell's firing affect the shot? Because he's a main character.
I don't watch the show.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
No,
If
I'll
he's a
watch
main
it.
character, it affects him drastically.
Yeah, of course.
They gonna have to come up with something kind of like, I guess, what Fast
'Cause-
and Furious
Because
not-
good shows are written top to bottom. So like,
Right,
they know where everything's going.
right, because it can't be like a Judy Winslow thing, like, we just never see this nigga again. They never answer the question of why we don't see him again. It has to be like, hey, this is what happened.
They could Aunt Vivian that shit.
Or they can,
Yeah, but see, it's different with comedy.
They can Paul Walker that shit.
And you know you're right, but
They can Paul Walker that shit.
Paul Walker had a twin.
I think the best way to do it is the Columbus Short their way out of it.
Oh.
Where Columbus Short got fired from the show, we never saw what happened to his character, but then we found out the character died because of whatever storyline that was left from the previous season allowed for his character to die. We never saw the character. We never saw what happened to him. They just said, hey, this is what happened. We have this funeral for him, blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah.
a more common thing, but like that's so off-screen deaths, it loses weight. Like I know we don't need to see every way everyone dies and shit like that, especially not in a show. You know, let's take it up to Game of Thrones. Like we saw enough shit that was going on with Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you kind of need to see who dies and who doesn't die in Game.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like you can't.
But even then, a lot of the failures of this season was so much off the screen stuff happened that it left people with too many questions.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you start moving, it's with huge characters, with pivotal characters, with game-changing characters, and you start moving and exempt them from the rest of the season without any real reason that isn't like built up to that way. Because like these unfinished character arcs that you're gonna have with this character on Empire, these unfinished character arcs that you have with these other guys, and then an off-screen death, like no explanation. Maybe with the exception of like you building a show around like realism and being like, oh, sometimes you just don't see when people die, they just do, or something like that. But these are like dramatic shows. This isn't supposed to be built around the idea that it's real life. So that's a layer that you kind of have to unpack when you go and do something that big.
Okay.
Also, fuck Polar Pop.
One more time.
But speaking of things that did get closure, or particular motion pictures that did get closure, we never did discuss Endgame. Are we ready to have that conversation?
Have you seen
Even
it?
though we like,
I appreciate your segment,
seen
by
it?
the way.
even though we like a month late.
He hasn't seen it.
I don't care though.
Why?
I just don't fuck with Avenger movies like that.
That's
Endgame
surprising coming from you.
did the greatest thing I've
No.
ever seen, because they literally took 10 years to tell one story about two characters. Like, the greatest thing I've ever seen as far as writing is concerned.
Because
They
say
wrote
what you
top to
want.
bottom.
after seeing everything and absorbing it, I believe what we saw was Iron Man 4.
Yeah.
Like, would you say all the Avengers movies is a little bit more about one character? Like maybe Civil War is really
No.
like the Captain America movie?
No.
But that was
No.
technically
So Civil War is a Captain America movie, though.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's not an Avengers movie?
It's not.
No.
Nah, yeah, that's...
More it does err on the side of an Avengers movie, considering that all the like Avengers 2, Age of Ultron was an Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
And then you look at the first Avengers, and that was a Thor movie more so than anything else. So like
Okay. that's
they
what
all
I'm
kind of
saying.
have tilts, not just built on who like the main baddie is in that like moment of time, but more so built on like whose primary motivation is holding the team back from succeeding. And so
But the comics are also written like that. They're
Everybody
generally,
teaming up to fight one person's bad guy.
yeah, or everybody's bad guy. It's either one person's or everybody's.
and usually everybody's on board with the exception of a character or something like that. So like with this one, it was Iron Man's movie because Iron Man was the only character throughout the movie, inside the movie, who had to grow to change for the team to succeed. So you look at everybody else, everybody's trying to push. Ant-Man was from go, talking about like, we gotta get this shit done. You know, everybody's trying to get it done. Iron Man's the only one that's like, we're either gonna do this or I'm coming home safe. Period. There's not gonna be no, I'm doing more than I need to for this shit. And so for him to come around and turn around and do what he did, that was the growth. That was the main character arc, and it was really the only character arc. There were minor ones like Captain America's decision to go back and live his life the way he probably really wanted to, and then there was minor ones like the Thor one, learning to like believe he's worthy. But that one, they just threw that in there so they could make the women more powerful. Not so that that's a bad thing, but to say that's what it was. So it was an Iron Man movie for sure, and I agree with you.
You know what I have a question about though? When he went back to, because you know he was supposed to bring back all of the stones. What happened when he got the Vormir?
I actually have a bigger question. So, they were wrong about that time travel shit. They had to have been wrong. Because how did Captain America end up back in the timeline?
Okay. Now, I have discussed this. I have thought about it in depth. The reason why this was so pivotal is that it sets up Phase 4, and now we are in the whole alternate dimension, alternate timeline thing.
For like a story-driven purpose.
Yeah, we getting J.J. Abrams right now.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
So what happens is that you can believe one of two things. The first thing you can believe, which is the hardest to believe, is, mind you, when Captain America comes back and he visits Peggy, Peggy has married. Peggy never had children, but we never knew who her husband was. So he married her. They never had children. He was her husband. When she developed Alzheimer's, he's like, "Hey, whomever, I gotta go because we all know this was coming."
But either way, for you to say that would indicate that they're still wrong about time travel in the first place because they said you couldn't be a part of your own present.
That's why I said that's the hardest one.
Okay.
The second one is when he went off and he decided to live with Peggy Carter. You know, alternate dimension. He lives off his life. He lives in a world where Captain America never died. But in that world, it's hard to have the creation of S.H.I.E.L.D. because they were part of the SSR. The SSR becomes S.H.I.E.L.D., so on and so forth. And you got to think about it. You get S.H.I.E.L.D., you get S.W.O.R.D., you get the way the world is when he gets uniced because the whole story has been, hey, this guy, this symbolism of American pride, strength, and morality sacrificed himself for us. You find out he's alive, why do you need him? They beat the Germans, they beat the Nazis, World War II came to an end. Why do you need the SSR? Why do you need S.H.I.E.L.D.? But once again, you cannot stop Peggy from getting Alzheimer's. So once she gets Alzheimer's, he's like, all right, cool. All I gotta do is wait for these niggas to do their part because I know they're going to end up here. And he comes back to the dimension that he's originally from. That's the most.
But he'd still have to come through a portal.
Because, right.
But at what point would he have to come? What portal did he come through and when?
You gotta think about it.
Yeah.
He knows what he needs to get back.
Yeah. Plus, keep in mind, he also knows where all the stones are.
That's true. But then that brings us to the other shit where it's like, so obviously he took the hammer with him because Thor had to get his hammer back for the other events to take place in there. I'm trying to think because there was some other shit I can't remember them off the top of my head right now.
The only one we cannot understand is the Vormir.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on
Look,
it.
Wow,
you feed it to him, yeah.
Right, because in order for you to get it,
I want to see that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, bud?
hey, how did you end up here? Hey, remember when I was fucking you up? But yeah, like the only way to get it is you have to trade a soul. So how do you get it?
Do you get the soul back?
No, Black Widow's dead as shit.
I'm just saying. Do you get a soul?
I don't think they have a refund policy with the soul stone.
All I'm saying is that
Also,
they have a soul stone, and she gave up her soul to get the soul stone.
You also assuming that he put it back.
Well, there's also the assumption that if he did not, he would be breaching the other reality's contract or terms and conditions for acquiring said stone.
You got to remember, everybody always assumes that it's him that's going to put that one back. Keep in mind, he knows where all the stones have to be, right? You're also assuming that when he gives back the stone to the Sorcerer Supreme, that they don't put it back.
They don't put it back on Vormir?
It makes more sense. Keep in mind, they know where all the stones are too.
I also don't understand why the Sorcerer Supreme didn't just like have more than just the time stone. I mean, I get it, like balancing the universe, blah blah blah, but like.
But once again, she understands how they work.
I also think it's weird, or I think it's interesting, at the very least noteworthy, because they did say not having stones in certain dimensions throws off the balance. So we have an obvious setup for the Dormammu situation with Doctor Strange, because now their reality doesn't have a time stone. So how is there supposed? They obviously have to combat Dormammu at some point.
All right, let me break it down like this. In the comic books, there's not just one set of Infinity Stones.
Of course, and they're not even called the Infinity Stones; they're called the like gems or some shit.
Yeah. So every different dimension has their own set of Infinity Stones. But for our particular one, we have to have those.
You are also assuming that the Captain America that went back in time is Captain America. There's a reason why you've been introduced to Captain Marvel. She said something very pivotal, which is every other planet doesn't have you guys. With that being said, they're going to probably, if I had to guess, use her introduction to jumpstart Secret Invasion, in which case you'll find out that there's a race out there in the universe that's been slowly infiltrating Earth's mightiest heroes, and on several occasions, this is actually something Marvel created to write themselves out of corners. Most of the time when you see a hero die, especially a pivotal character, i.e. like when Captain America got killed, you found out that this was not Captain America. In actuality, that this was a Skrull. I feel like most likely we're about to be introduced to Skrulls because it'll be. Well, yeah, you already have been. That's right.
Yeah, I was about to say they're definitely like there.
Yeah, And they're not just kind of there. They're literally, it's certain people that you think are on Earth, but because they're minor characters, you haven't covered where they are at the time. Because keep in mind, there's a point where, they don't ever actually show you that everything's back to normal when Hulk snaps his fingers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be... I personally, my biggest desire out of this was I wanted maybe Ant-Man or maybe some other interfiller movie in between that depicted the world post-snap. So we could have got not to say straight up a post-apocalyptic Avengers movie, but I wanted a post-apocalyptic Avengers movie where we're looking at these, not necessarily these bigger threats, but these smaller, more numerous threats that these heroes are having to deal with. And they're all tired and shit, and so that kind of leads up to the hope. And so they have these maybe a smaller scale, a more grounded story in this broken down, dilapidated society before we get to Infinity War. And then I realized I was aware of a leak that a lot of people didn't know, because when I went to see the movie all 3 or all 4 times, there was always a gasp whenever they're 5 years later. But I just thought everyone knew that shit because they leaked that back 2 years ago almost. And so I was very confused when people were surprised. I was like, what's going on? But I didn't know that. So I came into this expecting people to understand there was going to be a 5-year time jump. And so when everybody first came on screen, I thought that was post 5-year time jump, if that makes sense. So I came into the movie the first time very, very confused.
I see. So you see 5 years later, you think, oh shit, 10 years? Okay.
Yeah, and then that was when the brain did a little rewind. It was I see what happened.
That's true. I still laugh every time I saw that nigga Thor run. That nigga Thor cut that nigga Thanos shit off. No rap, bro. Bro, they held him down, and when the moment he showed up in the room, bro, it was crash slash.
It was what did you do? I hit for the head.
No, bro, not even when he did it. The way he cut his arm off, bro.
There wasn't even a chance for conversation. There was no words exchanged.
Basically,
it was just
I got Batman. He came in, started beating his ass, then started asking questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, I think my biggest question, if we're gonna do Secret Invasion, is because the Phase 4 I noticed also includes the Eternals and the Silver Surfer.
I think they're gonna go Galactus.
Are we going to introduce cosmic entities like Galactus, Destiny, Eternal?
I just want them
Chaos and Order.
I just want them to drastically.
The Leaving Tribunal, all these cosmic entities. Are we going to
also that little kid that's super powerful? He's got the 2 guns,
right?
The cowboy hat.
Because we've already seen a Celestial, not a living one, but
wait, which one?
Nowhere is in the body of a dead Celestial.
Yeah. Well, we've actually seen a Celestial too.
A living Celestial?
Not as an acted out, but when they showed him one.
Whatever.
What movie was that?
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ego. Right.
Ego was a Celestial. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so they were those big gold. Yeah. Oh, but that means
they show
Iron
another
Man
one.
with his celestial fighter suit.
They show another one in the Guardians of the Galaxy 1, don't they? He's destroying a planet or something.
It might be. I feel like they do.
The one with the
Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely going to be the entry point into.
Oh, they have to. If they're gonna do Galactus, only thing I'm hoping they do, just undo this Fantastic Four, please. Just don't make that part of the shit.
But you can't. The thing about Galactus is you don't get
Galactus
without the Fantastic Four.
I know. I just don't want it to be that movie. Y'all could go all the way back to the Jessica Alba days. Y'all didn't fuck up the continuity technically with that.
They didn't.
But the reason why Fantastic Four
Human Torch
is because they
Captain America.
immediately start with Doctor Doom.
He was skinnier then. It's fine.
That's my whole argument.
What did they just use?
Chris Evans? Fantastic Four stop starting with Doctor Doom.
But they're doing that so that that's their Joker. That's their most pivotal.
You can do Puppet Master. You can do
Moment.
the Mole Man. It's so many characters you can start off with that are really pivotal to the Fantastic Four before you get to Doctor Doom. That was my biggest thing with Spider-Man. We immediately got the Green Goblin.
But you have to.
Well,
but you
to be
have
fair,
to.
At the time when these movies came out, you're still trying to get people who aren't these avid readers into a series where they have no prior knowledge. So you kind of want to go with your most like big ticket names. You know, you're not trying to build a whole universe.
Not,
at this
okay,
point. You
listen.
gotta
I tell
put
people
money
this
first.
with Spider-Man. As much as you would like, you really don't have a choice. Which is why I respect them for going Mysterio
Okay.
in this new one.
And he's not even out really bad as we yet.
But
I think he's lying.
Well, of course, but like
but I'll say this. That's why I also appreciated Amazing Spider-Man so much for going Reptile.
Yeah.
But with Spider-Man, if you want to tell the most coming of age, all right, this is when it stops being happy-go-lucky and shit starts getting real for him. Story, you have to tell that story. Now, what made it worse was that, unfortunately, Amazing Spider-Man 2 did an incredible job.
I still think Andrew Garfield's the better Spider-Man.
He is a Spider-Man. Okay.
there's a lot of.
He's not the better Peter Parker. He's not the better Peter Parker. He's just the better Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, like he's built exactly like Spider-Man. He sounds like you think Spider-Man sounds like. The shit just that's not what people are arguing. He was just such a shit Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He was just so bad at being Peter Parker.
He was too cool to be Peter Parker.
He was literally a skater boy. Come on, guys. Like he dunked. There's no way Peter Parker's first inclination after he gets these abilities is to try to dunk from the free throw line and break a goal.
I mean,
No.
I mean, it happened in Teen Wolf.
Are we using Teen Wolf as the epitome of good writing? Is that what you're saying right now?
I'm
You
saying
get
Michael
bit
J.
by
Fox
a
is
radioactive
fucking
spider right now. You not jumping from the 3-point line?
No, first I'm not thinking it's radioactive. That's the first thing. I'm thinking maybe I should get medical treatment for this spider.
Once you do realize that shit is going on.
That's still not the first thing I'm doing. Obviously, the first thing I'm doing is getting some shit stuck to my hands. And I'm still not thinking it's radioactive.
Yo, you know what the sad part about it is? Has anybody seen that video of when the woman finds out her husband is cheating on her with a man and swaps out his lube with super glue? Imagine you get bitten by a radioactive spider and you're jacking your dick and your hand decides to be adhesive.
you just can't let go, or you just
You can't let
you just
go.
like skin your dick. Like
And
either
he said
way,
it's
this is
like,
bad.
He said it's more adhesive, like the more excited you get, because you have to like relax to like de-stickify your hands. So like, the more your heart rate increases.
I understand. I took
Why
this
you
to like
asking
a weird
for-
dark place.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, we just took
Here
a
comes
hard
Miles
low.
with the facts.
devil's advocate, man. I'm just saying, bro. If you're beating your dick, your heart rate's gonna rise.
You
Shit
make your
can't
hands
be
stickier.
better. Huh?
It make your hands stickier.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing now would be a bad time for an ASMR break.
Yeah.
It's
probably
never
Right
a bad time for a fucking ASMR.
That is
bro.
100. How many times have you been demonetized?
We have to be monetized in order to be demonetized, so we're good.
We're not demonetized yet. Good
We haven't
job.
got our sponsorships yet.
Sick.
Yeah, I
And-
see a huge roadblock.
And Coop just mentioned Red Bull, the Red Bull sponsorship. So
Wait,
You
fuck
might- you
energy
might need to
drinks,
call them back.
especially Red Bull. Fuck Red Bull. If you're gonna drink them, drink Monster.
nah, fuck no.
No, drink Bang. We support Bang.
Okay, I roll with Bang. Okay, I'm rolling.
T-Mobile supports Bang.
Word. All right, so we want to get into these albums that dropped last Friday. Do we want to start with Khaled? Do we want to start with Tyler? Do we want to start with Meg the Stallion?
Four-word review
Or
of each album. Let's go around the room with 4-word reviews. For each album.
4-word
We'll
review.
start with Khaled because, yeah.
I'm not gonna do it in 4 words.
Um,
My critique of the album, flawless, but I just knew I would never have to hear Top Off again. I just knew I would never have to hear that song again.
I was hoping he want to put that or No Brainer on there. He ruined it when he did that.
Outside of that, flawless album, wonderful execution. Dead Ass Serious, the one thing I took away from it, I need a mixtape of Jeezy and Rick Ross pronto.
Let me say this about the Khaled album. It's decent. But I feel like, and this might be a hot take, might be a scorching hot take, just considering that Khaled just keeps getting like bigger in his career or what have you, but I don't think we ever gonna get a Khaled album that's better than Major Key.
Okay.
That's my hot take of the day.
Major Key was that flame.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Khaled doesn't make music for me. That's just my opinion.
We the best.
Ooh, nigga.
His first one,
He does make amazing promo videos.
Like,
I'm so hood, we taking over.
Yeah, word. Khaled got like.
That's
I
on
can
my
say about
chest.
this particular
That first
album.
album, man. Listen.
This particular album was for niggas like me who
That's
ride
on
around in
Jadakiss.
their cars. That's how I feel. Ride around in their cars bumping music. Because the joints that I love, like even the standalone joint with SZA, I was like, I can bump this.
Me and Kari played that, and we sat there and looked at each other, and we were like, because that was the first song we had popped in. We were gonna like listen to it together all the way through as we were driving somewhere pretty far on the other side of town. And so we popped that one in, and we kind of looked at each other. We're like,
What didn't do it for you about the song?
Why, I'm about to say, why do you guys not like the song?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I just obviously we know it was the exact beat from Miss Jackson. Like that's not what I'm saying at all. But it just didn't feel additive to me. You know.
You gotta come with that fire if you on that beat, man.
If you're on that beat, you really got. And not to say that she's not a talented vocalist, but her vocals didn't do it for me over that.
Okay.
There's definitely more people I would have liked to hear on that.
Okay, I can understand that. I can understand that. It wasn't. You're not saying that it's just like this did not woo me or win me over when I heard it.
It would have had to have been transformative, or definitely someone whose vocals I'd be more interested in hearing over such a
Now,
classic and beautiful beat.
the Wayne and the Gunner, while I enjoyed the collaboration, that song is gimmicky to me. The one where they took the sample from the Jodeci Freak. That song is gimmicky to me.
A lot of it felt kind of gimmicky. Just
Yeah.
listening to, throwing the Miss Jackson shit on there without really changing or adding anything to the song like that, that felt mad gimmicky to me. And if that was my first impression of the album.
No, I don't know who this is. There's a girl whose song is on the radio right now, and it's Cream. She's singing over Wu-Tang.
It's not Ari Lennox. It's I know who you're
Ari
talking
Lennox
about.
did just drop it.
I know who you're talking about, but it's not Ari Lennox. It's not Lizzo. I can't think of her name right now.
Who the fuck is Lizzo?
Lizzo.
Lizzo. Okay, I know Lizzo.
But yeah, bro, whoever this is, bro, and don't get me wrong, it's not a bad song. But I tell people, I said, that's one of them tracks where you might want to be careful with what you touch.
Oh yeah.
Like you singing over like one of those like hip hop
Pivotal hip hop song.
yeah, like coveted tracks.
That's
Like
how I
it's a
feel about
reason.
Miss Jackson,
I
though.
told people it's a reason why you don't even hear people spit over Cream like that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the hardest beats ever.
Last person who did that, like, then sampled it was Wyclef, right?
Yeah.
With the what was that song?
Sweetest Girl.
Yeah.
All right. That's Khaled. Let's move on to Tyler.
Phenomenal.
Go ahead, because we have a Tyler.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Tyler's album
Phenomenal.
is beautiful.
I'm going to go with our Tyler, the creative correspondent.
Well, I'll let everybody else go first,
Okay.
It's unique and it's eclectic and it's ventures for him without while maintaining a familiarity
Yeah.
that he has. And I've always liked the fact that even if I may not have liked that particular project, I've never seen Tyler not escalate on a project. He has always managed to turn out something that shows that he took his time to push forward and really, really, really try to
Give us a body.
yeah, and more so show growth from where and what he was formerly. Because personally, for me, Flower Boy is one of the best albums ever made. Like straight up, I think you and me were talking about how realistically he doesn't receive probably as much credit as he really deserves for putting out something like that.
And I don't know if that's because of his earlier antics when it was
It is.
when he was with Our Future,
It definitely is.
but
Which I'm very curious. I don't understand their relationship anymore, which is kind of
Well, they're not officially a collective anymore.
Yeah, everybody
They're
kind of
not
like
branded.
ventured off and did their own thing.
But then again, to begin with, they were never like this super group type thing. They were never like a Broadcast.
Well, see, no, honestly, they always just seem like a group of friends.
They really, in reality, they were a group of friends that just liked featuring over each other's shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're a group of friends that's like featuring over each other's shit without a name.
Yeah.
So there was never any, you know. The only thing that I'd say, the only thing about the dynamic that's really changed is that Frank Ocean isn't as prevalent in other people's music.
I see. My weird thing is, it seems as though Tyler has separated himself from, because I barely see them featured on each other's anymore. Tyler on them or them on Tyler's, unless it's like Sid or the internet.
I feel like Earl did that first though. Like
Earl did do that first.
He definitely separated.
And then he, like, with some rap songs, he was like, nah, this my shit.
Yeah.
And then,
100%.
because, well, I'd say most importantly, for, like, the group dynamic, everyone kind of just turned into, like, recluses in general. Fuck the friend group. Like, they just, in general, as people, as they got bigger, because everyone that was a part of that group is much bigger than they were before.
Yeah.
Except for Haji.
Taco got a label, and I didn't know that until
I feel
like
like
2
Taco
months
got a
ago.
what?
He has a label.
Then there's also Mellow Hype, who's making small moves.
Mellow Hype was the shit.
Mellow Hype
Yeah.
is the shit.
But Haji just...
Haji never hit for me, so that's not. But did anybody else have any opinions about?
I can't. Well, I like Haji, but he has to be with Left Brain in order for me to really. Like,
Yeah, see, Mellow Hype is the shit.
Yeah, but I think with me and this album, I definitely feel like this is one of those like albums that Tyler like wanted to make since like the beginning of his career. Like I followed Tyler on Twitter back then, and like the things that he talked about, like not being able to like do certain chords and just not liking or being a fan of being able to properly sample certain music. Mm-hmm. I feel like this was definitely that album that he was trying, well, not necessarily trying to make back then, but it gradually like eclipsed into what we have as Igor.
I enjoy it. It's probably my second favorite album after Flower Boy. Because that Earthquake track to me, I have played that Earthquake track at least 5 times a day.
And it's weird because people who are eclectic, people who like the shit, it's hard to not just sing the song randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just being for real, for real, for real.
Like, and real nigga shit, I'm from Florida. He got a couple tracks on there that made me want to skate. So.
Yeah, word. That's definitely the vibe on that. Like,
All right. Jordan McNair.
Jordan McNair.
What's your take on the album?
This album, the best way I could put this, is that this album adds context to what Cherry Bomb was. So,
Go ahead.
So when that album came out, when that piece of beautiful music, that was an amazing album. When it came out, it received plenty more hate than it received recognition across the board. And of course, there are people that love it. But what I've noticed is that people that have come to like Tyler as of like 2017 and past, people that came in around Flower Boy, people that came in a little bit post Wolf or whatever, the people that came in listening to his more newer stuff, when they went back to go listen to Cherry Bomb as they start diving in and seeing who Tyler was in the past, they always loved Cherry Bomb. Like, they always rave about it. And I've got plenty of friends who I put on, and they've been like, yeah, Flower Boy's cool, and this is cool, and I love this shit, but Cherry Bomb is fire. Like, that shit's awesome. And so, like, I thought about this, and we all know that when Tyler had put that shit out, all he had been putting out was these grimy, dark beats and shit. And then the apparent
like he
stuff.
was trying to do like garish music from the UK.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like doing some like feeling super underground. And then when he put that out, it was such a hard left that the whole fan base just didn't really know how to take it. And they were scared that he was never going to make the music that he used to make. And that happens with a lot of artists who are versatile and switch out and go into different things. And so when Cherry Bomb dropped, it was mostly backlash, but the type of backlash that comes whenever you get change. And of course it was a raw album, and of course it wasn't the summation of his talents because he had never really properly ventured out that far. There we go. You hit that 3? Yeah. Yikes. And so then we get Flower Boy. And that project, while it didn't properly, it introduced people to Cherry Bomb, it didn't add context to what it was as an album. It didn't really explain where he was in that headspace so much as this album does. Flower Boy, what it did was it kind of alluded to it more so than it did outright say the lines that we got in this one, where you've got Boy is a Gun, and the main line is don't shoot me down, boy, don't shoot me down type shit. Like, this album was super gay. Cherry Bomb was super gay, but he wasn't outwardly super gay. This album was gay as fuck. And I think without people knowing where he was coming from, literally coming out the closet musically and sexually.
Well, he's bi, isn't he?
We don't know.
Okay.
Just let it go. Like,
we'll never figure it out.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But that's part of his point. He's just like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm making music. ... I'm not making pornos. I'm not making work for you guys to have sex to. So there's no point in me. Well, some of it is you can have sex to it. You know what I'm saying?
You would definitely knock some boost to Earthquake.
You know,
Earthquake
on beat.
Well, not on beat, but I mean, unless you like.
You gotta do something stupid to be like some shit that don't even make sense. Like,
Oh yeah.
Like the flying lotus mixed with a little bit of midget cradle. Like
Hey,
something that just doesn't make sense.
Midget cradle.
I like it. So to put into words what the album actually was sonically, it was definitely a derivative of like 80s funk pop. That really synth heavy, alien feeling sound. And that shit was fire. It was definitely one of the most immersive albums I've ever heard. Like, it took you to a place. He did some shit that Travis Scott's really good at in putting you in an atmosphere and a mood. He takes you out of where you are and puts you in this like this super sharp image of bright colors and high contrast and straight matching suit pants and shit. Like, the Earthquake video is definitely where I was when I listened to that shit before the video even came out. And so, and each track blends to the next one.
Yeah, I did enjoy
first time
that.
through, you'll never know when
It's
one
very,
shit ends.
And that's how you wanted
progresses
to hear the
very
album.
well.
It does.
Extremely well.
Beat switches feel like the ends of songs, and the ends of songs feel like beat switches. It's just trying to figure out when one track ends and when one track begins is like trying to find where your dick is if you're fat.
So, Meg Thee Stallion.
Hold on, because I want the grossly overqualified girls
To rip
talk
that
about
shit
part.
apart.
Oh, they came after y'all?
Yeah. So, Lori, Deja, if y'all are listening.
Fuck
Wait,
this
did-
nigga.
did-
You know what I'm trying to say?
Did they come after me?
Of course not.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. Yes.
Not that bad as they came for y'all though, because I was trying to support it.
I mean, they can
Actually-
because you're the one that started.
Actually,
Wait, what?
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did that thing.
You did not.
Oh, I
Retcon.
did.
You retconned the fuck out of that shit. Do you know what this conversation is about? They started ripping on fat women, right?
No.
No, nobody.
Put it in perfect context.
No, we didn't.
No,
First of all,
He described a particular height and size.
I started with 5'5", 220. And they
Five.
swore up and down. No, I did not change it. He said 5'2", 220. And I know he knows he said 5'2", 220 because he just smiled at me in his goddamn face. He's trying to retcon history, and I'm not going to let this shit happen because it always happened. This is the juvenile incident all fucking over again. And I swear, up and fucking down.
Who was the juveniles?
I'm not talking
Young
about
Miles
this shit.
told us that Juvenile strangled a mountain lion with his bare hands.
Would you like to know the real story? The real headline? What I actually said, I said there was a young biker who was riding on a bike trail and he strangled a juvenile mountain lion.
Who the fuck describes a mountain lion as a juvenile?
I read a headline.
That's what it said. That's why I remember hearing about this.
And
Now.
this is why Juvenile has a song with the City Girls.
So this Lil Yachty.
I ain't gonna lie, Juvenile got a little song with
Juvenile got a whole mixtape.
Metro Boomin.
It's
shit
one song right now that Juvenile got. That shit is. I don't know what the title is. That shit is hard, bro.
I'm like, look
Hard.
at
Bro, he got a whole mixtape with Birdman right
Yeah, Juvenile bike.
Yeah. For
No.
the 1-9 and the 2020.
Exactly, bro. Taking over.
20 years later.
Low key, bro.
Cash Money Records.
I want you to go platinum out of nowhere for no reason. Bro. Just for no reason,
Hey.
man. Just fuck it, bro.
Is it because John Cena went platinum?
I need him, Manny
John
Fresh,
Cena?
and Birdman to get right, man.
John
You need
Cena
John
and
Cena?
Birdman.
No, bro. He don't know shit about no fucking John Cena.
Oh,
Boy, I'm like, what are you going through, bro?
I
You
said
will not
Manny
do this.
Fresh, Juvenile Birdman.
Oh my
Oh.
god, I'm so stressed out.
Well, y'all got John Cena.
No, bro. Don't do this. Don't do this, bro. Don't fan
In
don't
this
fan
episode,
fire,
we
bro.
gonna be reading some John Cena bars. Let's pull them up.
Y'all
John Cena.
Don't fan this fire.
Okay. John Cena actually released a hip hop album with Flash.
With 17 tracks.
Y'all ready?
The album came out in 2005. Here's the thing, we actually did a review on it and found out that he got a couple of bars off.
A couple.
A couple.
Only a couple?
You know how I feel about rap.
Are we about to do? Am I about to bring up the
You've seen
abortion
some of
line?
the shit I watch.
Do I have to pull up the abortion line? Oh shit!
Nah.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan-
Nope.
Megan
Nope.
the fucking Stallion.
No, that's the thing, bro.
He wrote his own shit like a real ass rapper. Real ass rapper give a fuck about a ghostwriter.
Megan the Stallion.
No.
Low key.
I set
Problem,
styles off, dog. Y'all are fucking mimics. Man, I talk more shit than pro-lifers in abortion clinics.
Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion has my album of the summer.
Of the summer?
Yeah, bro. Cause she made
Because
early.
Megan
It's early.
Megan Thee Stallion made an
Hoe
album
music.
for all the girls that like bald-headed hoe shit.
Megan. Yeah, she brought hoes back again,
Megan,
and there's something wrong
listen,
with that.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of y'all.
She did not bring hoes
Memorial
back.
Day weekend is right around the corner. Like, matter of
Perfect
fact,
timing.
this weekend, let me, if y'all go, for anybody that's in Miami, Atlanta, Las Vegas, definitely Houston, and Virginia this weekend, I want y'all to pretend y'all can walk down the street and not hear one track from Megan Thee Stallion.
No.
I could definitely hear.
Because
She didn't bring hoes back though.
because I'm coming from
Oh no,
a
hoes never
background-
left.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But if it was anybody, it'd actually be Lil Uzi. Lil Uzi brought bad bitches back.
I feel. I'm coming from the background of a DJ, and every track that I heard on that album, I'm like, either this is in the strip club, the regular club, or the day parties and lunches. There's no way one of those
Some
tracks
bullshit.
is not at one of those four places. This, especially this weekend.
Cash shit is definitely on that list.
Simon Says.
Simon
If
Says.
Simon Says don't pop off and be the song of the summer, I don't know what y'all are listening to.
I'm going with Simon Says.
Other than that Juvenile track, because that
I'm
that
listening.
shit's hard.
I'm listening to Earthquake. I'm not gonna hold you there.
Other than that, what?
I'm listening to Earthquake.
At the day party / brunch.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. That's what we found out.
He
bro.
wasn't here last week for the day.
Oh
party
yeah, bro.
brunch
You was
conference.
there for that for the.
No, I love Earthquake. Earthquake is not going to be at the day parties and the brunches.
I mean, if it's my day party,
I mean,
Yeah,
of course it's
you gotta let it rock.
yeah, but
I mean, we gonna play fun music.
Who gonna stop me when Baby Cardi hops on that shit?
it's not going to be at the day parties. and
Who's
brunches.
going to stop me when Baby Cardi comes on and starts talking about Whoa Vicky?
Again, you were not here last week for the day party brunches conversation.
Yeah, bro.
It's not going to happen. There's a whole science in this shit that we broke down last week.
Day party / brunch. I haven't been to a brunch in forever.
Right.
It's cause, bro,
It's because I always eat brunch.
that and bro, not enough people
Right.
get invited to brunches anymore. Bro. Brunch is always good.
Okay, here's the thing. We
Can
a
you
couple
get
of
a
years ago we realized there was a bro code that said that I as a man cannot outwardly ask you as a man, do you want to go to brunch? I have to say, hey bro, let's go get something to eat.
I'm
And
finna
it
say,
happens
since when we
to
start
be
calling it
brunch.
brunch?
See?
Yeah, that's never been like a
guy thing. We
That's
understand.
At all. We just get food when we hungry, right?
And you're
Yeah,
right.
Think about it. I have to say, hey, let's go get something to eat, and it happens.
If you want to be real, we invented brunch. We just ain't never called it that.
Fair enough.
or
I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
we finna say let's go get brunch and
Alright.
mimosas.
So what it is that, of course, I would never outwardly say, yo, let's just go get some brunch, yo. No, it's never going to happen. What I'm going to say is whatever the time that brunch happens, I'm going to be like, yo, we hungry, let's go get something to eat. Now, technically, what we are having at this moment is brunch.
I don't know if I can go through another Toy Story.
Bro,
Yeah,
this shit-
I
The
thought I saw
principle,
the
I
commercial.
got to go see that bitch.
Like,
bro, I've been riding for a long time,
you know
bro. I
what I'm
gotta
saying?
go.
Exactly. They come out with another Jurassic Park. G shit, bro. I got to go see that bitch,
like
bro.
that, bro. Like, cause y'all know Toy Story always gets y'all in y'all feelings, and I don't know if I can do it.
You get it free.
Okay.
You got a friend.
You get it free.
If they come out to
Is that
to a movie
complaint
that
coming
you
on
watch
at the day
when you was
party?
a drink,
What?
shit,
You got a
gotta-
friend in me.
That is definitely coming on. That's coming at the day on at the day party with the ratchets.
But yeah, there's no way that we survive this summer without hearing the entire Megan Thee Stallion album, one brunch or day party at a time.
Exactly, bro.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, bro. Because inappropriate home music is back.
Yeah, and real shit. I actually want us to talk about monetizing on selling shirts at the low price of $4.99 that say "I heart bald headed hoe shit."
Oh,
I'm down.
okay. Who the baddest bald headed hoe out here?
It doesn't matter
Okay.
because bald headed hoe shit has replaced the term ratchet.
No, I disagree. Bald headed bullshit. Bald headed hoe shit does not have the same negative connotation
Jordan,
as
Banana,
ratchet.
you are
Yeah.
on Twitter more than I am.
Of course.
You see the term bald headed hoe shit more than I do, and I'm on Twitter a lot.
And guess what? I still don't think it's as negative a term as ratchet. Somebody call you ratchet, bro. They made a whole she ratchet.
Drake
Come
got a
on
song
now.
called Ratchet Happy Birthday. Bald headed whole shit happy birthday sound a little wild.
Bald headed hoe shit. Happy birthday.
Bitches use bald headed.
That is the title.
On the front. Bald headed hoe shit. Happy birthday.
That is what we're calling
We're not doing
the
this.
title of this episode.
You know what? I'm about to just type in bald headed hoe shit.
Just
Like
for
I'm
the
saying,
sake of
it's
seeing
not- what the fuck is that?
Low-key,
what happens.
I want to search it on Pornhub just to see what comes up.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God.
But yeah,
There's a video for everything on Pornhub.
Word.
basically.
Ain't no basically.
Alright, so great debate. Well, not really a debate, but it's whatever y'all make it. Does everyone wash their legs when they're in the shower?
I'm gonna say this.
I've
You
already answered the
technically
They don't
are
even
not
use
supposed
rags,
to
man.
apply. They don't even use rags, first of all. But you technically
So what?
aren't. I was like, yeah.
Well, let me not single them out 'cause I know a few that. you know.
We're not gonna do that thing
I'll
that
tell you,
everybody
I don't know,
does.
it's to a house
There
with
are a
some white
bunch
people.
of people. Shut up, Vince.
Ain't
My
no,
rag
you're
is the only
one.
rag in the bathroom,
Shit,
bro.
lonely as fuck, ain't it,
I
bro?
promise, bro. Like every morning when I go to brush my teeth and I look in the shower, bro, it's one rag.
Be honest with you, bro. That first one was little. I was like, is these niggas not taking showers?
Bro.
For the health of your skin, to prevent breakouts, dry skin, and to negatively impact your eczema, you are not supposed to, and I know this because I have eczema, I'm a skin expert, you know what I'm saying? You are not supposed to apply
You have eczema?
soap.
You know?
Oh,
Okay, never. I'm not gonna tell you what I always thought that was.
What do you think it was?
I-
Go ahead, I want to hear. I'm curious.
Honestly,
I just
I
thought,
thought
you
you-
were lotioning your arms.
I thought you had NF like my girl.
Oh, okay. Hey, no, this is eczema. But and it's only here. If I scratch somewhere else like really hard
Is
for
it
a
on the
while.
back of your knees too, like a little bit?
Nah, because I don't actually scratch the back of my knees. I like had to break. I completely broke that.
My
cycle
shit's
a
on
while
the back
back.
of my knees bad. It's like cleared up right here, but
Y'all are
if
making me itchy right now.
when it get
Stop.
hot, bro, ooh, Jesus.
Or with like
It's a
when
very
your
itchy
hair-
conversation
Bro.
going on right now.
when that shit get hot, boy.
we get informational. But nah, you're technically not supposed to apply soap directly to your skin on back-to-back days. Preferably 1 out of every 3 days. Now, with that said, Even though I have eczema, I still use soap all over my body every single day. Because at the end of the day, I can put lotion on my skin, but I can't not smell like a gorilla if I don't put lotion on. Or if I don't put soap on. So, I will say this.
You put that soap on.
Put that soap on, nigga. But like, so yeah, I mean, listen, everybody live their life differently, and as long as you're not out here with staph infections on your legs, it's one thing if you get some shit on your feet. But if I can see a ringworm on your goddamn leg, it is something very viscously wrong with your life. In your
Viscously
lifestyle.
wrong.
Viscously wrong. I think this whole thing started with.
I actually typed in bald-headed hoe shit happy birthday on Pornhub. 1,556 results.
What do they say?
All types of tags. Bald-headed, tag, hoe.
Wait, but when was the last time you just saw a bald girl on Pornhub?
Bro, my question is,
Think
it's
about that
hoe shit. Why does it being bald headed make it worse?
It doesn't make it worse. That's what y'all missing, bro. Women use this shit, and it's not that bad.
bro.
I know you've seen it.
No, listen. Bald-headed.
You might not have.
Saying bald-headed in front of whole shit, doesn't, like he said, doesn't make it worse. It just makes it better.
It makes it more powerful, actually.
It makes it more acceptable.
Like, for example, someone calls you a bitch. Damn, why would you say that? You're a bad bitch. That's a qualifier, bro. That's better than it is worse. You see what I'm saying? So you say someone, oh, she on that whole shit. Ah, shit. Ah, she ain't shit. But if they say, she on that bald-headed whole shit.
You're like, oh shit, what
Oh,
is this?
shit, what am I missing? Shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to shave and be right there with her.
I was gonna say it's all fun and games. You run into that one person that's like, "Bitch, I got hair."
So, I can pull it in a ponytail, too.
And then it looked like 3 fingers hanging out the back of her head. She looked like Coolio on the back.
Like Stevie.
The shit that tripped me out is the girls that I see that be like, hey, I want to do bald-headed hoe shit with my friends, just got brand new bundles.
Ooh.
Just got brand new bundles.
Ooh. Maybe they trying to get their shit snatched. You know what I'm saying?
I guess. Shout out to Hair Weave Kill.
Ooh, okay. Oh, yeah, guys, stop snatching girls' weaves in the club. That shit ain't cute. But,
You know, okay, I'm gonna say what's weird because I went to Twitter and typed in bald headed hoe shit, and I think I don't know what's funny, the fact that so many tweets is bald headed hoe shit is treated like body goals, like bro, three of these back to back to say finna be on bald headed hoe shit all summer.
I'm telling you, bro, it's a
There's even a bald-headed whole shit emoji apparently.
Bro, watch this shit, bro. Hold on, just I'm about to be on my bald-headed hoe shit.
I see what you're talking about.
Hold
You're
on.
right. That's true.
Starting a campaign called Bald-Headed Hoe Shit. I can't wait to do bald-headed hoe shit with my friends this summer. Hold up.
I'm too old to be doing bald-headed hoe shit 5 drinks later.
I guess I'm doing all bald-headed hoe shit this summer.
My best friend is coming this week, so if you see me doing bald-headed hoe shit, mind your business.
I just said that. Box braids me
Like
bald-headed
somebody
hoe
we
shit.
work with.
It is, bro.
Somebody we work with in appliances.
Because that's her line, bro.
This is my favorite so far. I refuse to be pregnant again for another summer. Fuck no, I'm on bald-headed hoe shit all summer long. That's probably how you got pregnant.
She trying to act bougie.
Be
I'm
pregnant
trying to
all
be on
winter.
bald-headed hoe shit. What is it about the bitch being bald-headed? Like,
It's different, man.
Bro,
It just
That's
add
not
that-
worse.
Bald-headed just makes it better.
Exactly.
that is true, bro.
It's like adding bass.
That bitch hold her follicles out.
Oh my god. Damn. It really does say we on bald-headed hoe shit all summer 19.
Period.
My baby dad got about 2 weeks to get on his shit before I get on my best bald-headed hoe behavior.
Best bald-headed.
I don't I have no words.
So remember when I said this shit is better than it is bad? Do you understand? What's the next topic, boss? Oh, we never even talked about her album. He said it was the best album of the year.
I said summer.
Okay.
Whoa.
She got it for the summer.
I feel like we definitely haven't heard album.
Chance
of
the
year yet.
Rapper's album is gonna
Bro,
be
the only way she doesn't
shit.
have it for the summer is if I get a Ross or a Wale album in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I hope we get that Ross album soon. I
How's he doing? He
really
alright?
hope.
Who?
He just dropped a freestyle that I haven't heard called Port of Miami too.
Like that's the only way. That's the only way she doesn't get it. Whoever has the better album in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that's the only way to save it. But once again, she got bitches sitting here going like, I gotta do this bald headed hoe shit like that. Like that serious.
I think that was her. I
Like,
think that was
dead
City
ass
Girls
serious.
first, but I think she kind of came in off that wave and bodied it with like actual rap.
Now here's my thing. I am a little worried because all this first album is just her on her ratchet behavior.
Nah, Ratchet is bad.
23.
Okay,
I just want to point out, 23 seconds ago, it's a party at B.H.S Friday called Ball Headed Ho Shit.
Friday.
Is anyone surprised it's at Bajas?
I might go do security at this party. I'm dead ass. I hit Lambo and Mail up. They put me on the schedule.
Lambo and Mel.
I swear.
Throw me on there for the
They
Ball
like
Headed
to
Ho
see
Shit.
Hey, I heard one.
It's all fun and games until they come up and they really ain't got no hair.
bro.
They
That's
y'all
why
gonna be
that's
mad.
why I get these old tennis ball face hoes.
Oh my god.
Shout out to Morehouse.
Good transition. I'm proud of you.
For,
Wait, did that thing say they only had like 463 graduates?
I don't remember the exact number.
Bro,
I just
either
know
way,
that
it's a
in
private
top five.
institution. Everybody's tuition was like $35,000
Exactly.
per year.
That's fucking great.
That's definitely like 10 million.
Like dead ass serious. I tried to see what I could do to hack into the system and show myself as a recent Morehouse grad.
Hey, what was the dude that was like getting all the financial aid money
Yeah.
out of the school?
Oh no, that guy. He got caught. And everybody's like, why are y'all putting him in jail? That's a national hero.
Everybody made playlists off of that.
But yeah, like
Do we know the guy that's paying for this shit?
Robert L. Smith, he's a billionaire tech investor.
So I'm just listen. I'm not gonna be that guy because we live in a country where legally you can do whatever you want with this money that you make as a billionaire. What you can't possibly spend all of it. Yet somehow they always do. But
And nobody builds a Gundam. Sorry.
Elon Musk probably has. I'm just saying from a logistical standpoint. We haven't not seen him make a Gundam yet. Anyway.
I understand. I think it's 2019. I still want a fucking flying car.
All right. Well, I'm glad our heads are in the right space. You know, fuck
What
the
you know we're gonna
environment
do?
and whatnot.
Save people? Some dumb shit?
That's why Bill not mad at us right now.
This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm about to start
Bro,
off
that
some
ain't
socialist
Bill Nye.
bullshit. The first thing they go
Man,
to
it's
is a
so fucking
Gundam
fire.
and flying cars. What is this flying car gonna run off of?
Whatever the shit the DeLorean ran on.
So gas, awesome.
No, the DeLorean didn't run on gas. Damn it, the DeLorean had the flux capacitor.
Energy isn't just created, my man.
No, oh my god. It wasn't. It was a fusion drive that converted matter into energy.
What matter?
Any matter, just
Because you know
Nigga,
you're
you started putting gas-
no. I'm about to be literal. The car that you have out there converts matter into energy.
Yes, it does, but not the way the flux capacitor does.
It sounds like you just like saying flux capacitor.
No, that's just I just watched Back to the Future. That's literally how they explained it.
Listen, bro. I feel you, and I understand where you're going,
Yeah,
while
and we thank you for still being a dick.
right.
How?
But dead ass serious.
As he literally proclaimed, "I'm gonna be literal. I'm gonna be literal."
But dead ass serious. I'm with Coop. I want a fucking Gundam. I'm with myself. I want a fucking flying car. And yes, I would-
Both have kids.
So, fuck that got to do with anything. I can't ride high because I got kids.
I mean,
That was
they're gonna
prejudice.
ride. They're gonna ride low.
No,
I mean,
they're not. Bitch,
like
you're-
underwater.
You're assuming my kids are not going to be in the flying car with me.
Yeah, bro.
Are y'all gonna fly over the trash and
Yeah.
the student loans and the?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Listen.
niggas can't even afford Teslas yet. They talking about flying cars.
Actually, yes, niggas can.
Y'all
Oh yeah, I done seen
talking,
a couple of Teslas.
Oh, they down to like 23 now.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, word.
Word to my girl, she taught me out of that shit twice.
I feel like if
Word-
anybody get a Tesla, it's him first. Just
Word to
because
me,
that's
I had to
what's
talk DJ out of that shit.
I'm still having that internal debate.
Bro, let me tell you how. I'm going to tell you how close we got, bro. I found out you can buy a Tesla with Apple Pay.
What does that change?
The fact
What
that
is
you
that
didn't get it?
No.
Like it was like when I tell you it's too easy to do that. It's too easy to buy a Tesla. They give you an ETA. Okay, yeah, all right. So you should be there in about 2 weeks. Matter of fact, when the screen like load to the next screen to like for like the checkout, your finger is already like if you just don't move after you hit confirm. If you don't move your hand, bro, your finger's on the Apple Pay button when the shit load up.
Even crazier than that, it's easier to buy a Tesla and have it shipped to you in like 4 days with the right shipping than it is to get a mattress.
That's crazy how it's only took 4 days, even though like a year ago I was looking at like the Teslas and seeing like the shipping time, it was like 6 months to a year. So they've definitely come a long way with that.
You gotta think this nigga sold flamethrowers
At reasonable prices, too.
at reasonable prices and sold out in a day.
Listen,
this nigga is
$400 for a flamethrower?
It's not bad.
It's not.
Or,
real. In reality, it's not like a real flamethrower, but who gives a fuck at that point?
It's the fact that it says flamethrower and it only cost me $400.
More importantly, name another nigga you know that got a flamethrower.
The niggas that bought.
Because next year on my taxes, that's what I'm getting.
He ain't sell them no more.
The claw. Seen that? They had the hand coming down.
What else we got, y'all?
You tripping for real? He did that blink. He said,
how you feel about washing chicken?
Washing.
"What white person said? Nah, fuck the race one. What white person said that shit?
Dr. Oz.
Oh shit.
Who said what?
Once again,
I'm
not
sorry for
listening.
fucking up your shit.
What? That we shouldn't wash chicken? Whoa!
Listen,
Was this in their newsletter?
Oh, that's not even the first wild thing that Dr. Oz said, because I got the clips already.
Hold on, my nigga. Because I'm under the impression.
Wait, has Dr. Oz been just exposing like shit white people do?
I think so.
Has Dr. Oz been out here exposing white niggas?
No,
shit?
it's
Is
more
Dr.
like
Oz
he's
the white
justifying
Shannon
it,
Sharp?
but like second-handedly, he is exposing the shit.
All right, so this is what Dr. Oz said.
Do I even want to see this shit? Like,
Wash your chicken or not?
No, definitely not.
Don't wash your
No.
chicken?
I wash my chicken. I'm not
What
going
do you
to
mean
not
don't
wash
wash
my
the chicken?
chicken.
When you wash your chicken, you spray the salmonella all over the kitchen, everywhere. It just splatters everywhere. Then you put the chicken into the oven, and the heat from the oven would have killed that salmonella anyway.
But it's all in the sink, and we wash it with hot
just
water.
clean the
It's in
sink out.
It doesn't always go in the sink. People wash their salad in their sink. When you splatter the water on the chicken, it goes outside the sink sometimes. It's been looked at.
Salmonella
No matter
still in
what you do, there's no incremental benefit of washing the chicken. If you wash it, you're not killing salmonella with water, believe it or not.
Black people mad right now.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I know you told me not to curse. That's some white people shit, dog.
Okay, now real nigga shit. I think what he doesn't realize is that with black people, when we wash and clean our kitchen, we do this thing called cleaning the sink.
Bang.
And the counter.
No, white people definitely don't clean their shit. They'll rinse it out. They don't clean that shit.
Hey, bro, you gotta bleach everything.
Apply some Fabuloso.
Just we gotta have. Okay, I'm good.
Y'all ready for hot take number 2?
Go ahead.
Quickly, go like this. Purse your lips.
Whoa.
That's what your ass looks like right there.
How do you know?
Because biologically,
You gonna get a shoulder, man?
if I were to biopsy the skin around the lips, it's the exact same, as your ass has.
Oh.
Exact.
Well, what's cleaner, your mouth or your ass?
You know, interestingly, they both have tons of germs.
Because I would think I put more stuff in my mouth on a daily basis.
You sure
Yeah,
do.
we know.
You do.
You sure do.
Shut- But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, we know what you
Yeah,
mean.
we do.
I think people will be using moist wet. I take toilet paper, I spit on it to moisten it, or we use a
You
sink.
whoa.
Yeah.
Some freaky
Stop.
shit you got
spit
going
on
up
the
there
toilet
this morning.
paper?
Where you spit on toilet paper and wipe your ass?
Yes, because that way it's not.
Why don't you use a wet wipe?
Because wet wipes don't dissolve.
So you
Yeah, you're not
spit
supposed
on
to put wet wipes in the
paper and wipe
toilet.
your ass?
It's a moist wipe, basically, on your bottom. Throw that in the toilet because it gets dissolved perfectly, and
Then
you're
you
good to
got
go.
But isn't it still wet tissue?
Yeah, then you got toilet paper stuff in your ass.
Well, no, you want high quality toilet paper, please. I mean, they don't
High
cheap.
I'm ready to go. What about the rest of you, Jimmy?
We're not even
Episode 59.
All right, so I guess we ended it right there.
Yeah, Dr. Oz fucked the game up with that one just now. Whoa.
All right, everybody. Episode 59, No Static Podcast. Remember to rate, review, subscribe, listen, share to all your friends. We are on Google Play Store, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere where you listen to podcasts. We are there, SoundCloud, all that good stuff.
Is glass worse than plastic?
Make sure that you listen, that you leave a comment. Make sure that you follow us on the No Static Podcast on the IG. Definitely on the No Static Podcast on the Twitters. All that good stuff. We may have a Facebook page coming up soon. Hit us up on the Twitters. All that stuff. We got all those links and everything in the description. See you guys next week. Peace.
Is glass worse than plastic?
Peace.
Punch us out.
Hear me out. I want y'all to actually hear me out, bro.
I want you to know that the podcast is fading.
If you swallow a bunch of glass, that shit's gonna
Punch us
kill you
out,
slowly.
goddamn clone.
But if you swallow a bunch of plastic,
God damn it! Punch us out!
I'm just saying, does glass break down slower or faster than plastic? And if it doesn't,
punch us out.
Wait, what if we have like a glass shortage
Please
because like we
punch
use
us
all
out.
the sand in the world? Hear me out. Glass is probably worse than
Please
plastic. There's no
punch us
BPA
out.
in there's no BPA in glass, but like I feel like it's killed more people throughout history. Like if you eat glass shards, bro, that shit's dangerous. That's gonna cut your lungs up.
Somebody, please.
And-
If I knew
and
how to
another
do it, I
thing,
would
bro,
do it myself.
And another thing, if those sea life, if they start eating on the
Oh
on
my
the glass, then like that's bad for them too, because they lungs, they don't have lungs, but their gills gonna get fucked. Wait, how does glass get in lungs?
Then